What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of KozMatt's Wrestling Recap. Let's get right into an episode of Monday Night Raw. Actually, before we get into it, we got to mention a severe thing that happened in the Buffalo Bills-Bengals game. We had a player go down, and it was just a horrible scene, and prayers out to his family and everything like that. And wishing him a
Uh,
speedy recovery, and just our hearts definitely go out to him for sure.
I'm looking at my phone, just an update that just came up. Damar Hamlin for the Buffalo Bills collapsed on the field after a pretty nasty um, tackle, it looked like. Not many sources have updated his condition. Just basically, he's in critical condition following that. They had to perform live CPR on the field, of course. But prayers go out to Damar and all his family.
Absolutely. You
But
know, we'll
on a positive
dedicate
note,
we'll dedicate this video to him. How about that?
we'll dedicate it on a positive note. Let's get into a GM-packed episode of Monday Night Raw, the first Raw to
Let's
kick
do it.
off the new year. All right, first match, the Raw Women's Championship bout. Bianca Belair and Alexa Bliss. Wasn't expecting a title change at all, and we didn't see a title change. All right, the match it was fair. It was very fair. I think Alexa Bliss, she really showed who she was. I think these past few months, Alexa Bliss really needed to show that fury that she's been holding in. And honestly, if she won this title, I would have been super surprised. But that didn't happen. I mean, anybody going into this match knew it wasn't going to happen. Um, there were a few good segments that really worked and just had plenty of time. So what actually happened when both women were outside of the ring? There was somebody wearing a strange mask that actually distracted Bliss from the crowd. It seemed to be like an Uncle Howdy mask. It looked like a fan at first, just wearing a cheap Uncle Howdy mask. And then an image flashes on the screen as Alexa Bliss just kind of goes into a weird daze in the ring and then goes back outside the ring and sees another Uncle Howdy mask in a different corner. Just like almost kind of like when it came to when Bray Wyatt returned back to WWE. But of course, just a little bit of a different scenario here. Alexa Bliss actually attacked the referee, then beat down Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair won by disqualification. Alexa Bliss just kind of going crazy, then attacking Bianca after this match through steel steps. Um, Definitely some type of mind games playing by Bray Wyatt. But I also have to think, who were those two men that were dressed up somewhat as Uncle Howdy? Could they be somebody part of the Wyatt Six faction? Could it just be two random people just kind of helping with the gig of the storyline? Kind of has people talking. WWE certainly did something right.
Oh yeah, absolutely. This was a great way to kick off the show. I think one of the guys in the Uncle Howdy mask is Bo Dallas. That's one of my
Oh, for
theories
sure.
here.
He's definitely Uncle Howdy, period.
Yeah, but this was a great way to kick off the show and further Alexa Bliss and Bianca
Mm.
Belair's feud for sure. And you know what? I like seeing this vicious side of Alexa Bliss, like you said, and I cannot wait to see her and what she does in the future.
Absolutely. Now, before we lead into our next match, what actually happened for this match to happen, Elias versus Solo Sikoa, right at the beginning of Raw, before we got into the women's championship match between Alexa Bliss and Bianca Belair, the Bloodline actually kind of cut the show off right at the beginning of the Raw promo introduction and basically just demanded hell basically throughout the arena, just causing just chaos, opening the show, just hey, we're here, we're crashing Raw. Um, craziness. Adam Pearce kind of assigning matches afterwards after trying to get the Bloodline in control of Kevin Owens attacking them, setting up a match later on. So we finally get to see Elias versus Solo Sikoa as Elias demands a match with Solo from a few weeks back. Solo with unfinished business with Elias. Same goes the other way around. Actually, was a street fight. We were in Nashville, Tennessee, so certainly something that the Nashville crowd wanted to see. There was a few things strung around the ring: guitars, drums, cowbells,
Just
pianos. Man,
chaos, man.
it was
Chaos.
awesome. Even Hardy, who was the musician for this year's Royal Rumble, he was in attendance. He actually decided to get involved by smashing a guitar over Solo Sikoa's back, but actually had no effect on Sikoa, making him just look like the giant he is. Um, Hardy actually bails out of the ring. Sikoa hits a Samoan spike as Elias jumps off the top rope, then hit a side slam from the apron onto the piano for the win. Match was pretty cool. Finish looked awesome, man. Booking was pretty darn on point. I certainly am excited to see what's going to happen with Solo Sikoa and the Bloodline.
Oh, you heard it here first, man. I think Solo Sikoa is going to have the breakout year of 2023. I see maybe an Intercontinental Championship in his future, maybe United States Championship, but he's going after the gold, baby, and he's going to be the enforcer of the bloodline.
Absolutely. Speaking of enforcer, let's talk about the Usos and Sami Zayn versus the Street Profits and Kevin Owens. Let's talk about Sami Zayn, who needs to enforce some type of law back into the bloodline, especially taking a hard L on SmackDown with against John Cena and Kevin Owens. KO and the Street Profits hit the ring. Awesome match. It looked like Montez Ford was kind of out of it a little bit, kind of like either he's changing up his character, but people were speculating it's because of what happened with Bianca earlier on in the show. They're kind of using that into effect as well. Sikoa actually shows up, giving an unfair advantage, actually leading to Zayn scoring a win with the haluva kick onto a distraught Montez Ford. Very entertaining, very chaotic. Brawling Brutes and Drew McIntyre showed up to take out the bloodline to end the segment. Very well done. Very well done. Booked. Just a great match overall.
Oh, the whole show was just booked phenomenal. And you know what? I love how the bloodline just adds layers to their faction, their characters as a whole. And Sami Zayn just ties it all together, man. The honorary Us, he just is honestly second in command in the bloodline, in my opinion.
Mm,
And he straightens them all out for sure.
absolutely. Now, I think what we straightened out was the Miz and Dexter Loomis segment. So it had to kind of end. And you know what? That ladder match, I think it really did end. And we didn't see the return of Miz's stablemate that he had help him with the win just about, I think it was a week or 2 weeks ago. We see Otis accompanying Chad Gable, who was taking on Dexter Loomis. Kind of a filler match, I think. But you know what? I was happy to see both men on Raw. Loomis ended up scoring the win by countering a pinfall attempt from Gable into his own type of cover. Once again, nothing special. Match was always smooth as it is with these two competitors, especially Chad Gable. I'm so happy. Even if it's not the most intriguing storyline, they're giving Chad Gable these spots, and this is something he so deserves, but hopefully they give him a good storyline.
Oh yeah, man. I think it's coming for sure. Triple H really sees the potential, and you know what? Like you said, he really deserves it. Maybe not automatically in the championship scene, but just give him that opportunity because he makes the most of it each and every time he goes through those ropes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now let's talk about what happened next. So Damage Control comes out for a promo, quickly interrupted by Bianca. Excuse me, not Bianca, Becky Lynch, the man Becky Lynch, the new returning Becky Lynch, leading to Dakota Kai and Io Sky actually taking on Lynch in a handicap match because Becky didn't want to, look down for a partner. But we actually returned from a break to see Lynch and Sky begin the match. Um, Becky Lynch. I'm super stoked that they finally have Becky Lynch back because this is something I believe that we just needed on the Raw roster, not just a Ronda Rousey. Charlotte, she's on SmackDown, but I think having Becky Lynch back is just something to really help Monday Night Raw, the women's division at least.
For sure, adding that star power to the women's division on Monday Night Raw. We got some good feuds starting in the women's division. You know, we had Alexa Bliss and Bianca Belair start off the show. We have Becky Lynch fired up and ready to take on Damage Control. So
I mean, what actually happened? Even though she was in a hard hitting match was just kind of all over the place. Mia Yim came down, making I guess the save as Becky Lynch's partner. It ended up being a tag team match. It was kind of all over the place. Got the hot tag turn the tide against Damage Control. Damage Control did end up taking the W. Wasn't expecting Becky Lynch to actually lose, but you know what? I don't know what they're trying to do with Mia Yim. It's taken me a little bit to grow up on her, but they got to do something with this Michin BS because I'm just not buying it.
that's got to go for sure. You know what? I don't think Becky and Mitchum, whatever you want to call her, is a good tag team. Becky's much better as a solo run. But you know what? Good for Damage Control picking up the win. I think WWE realized that they need to start booking them stronger, and that's exactly what they're doing.
Before we get into our main event, Theory versus Rollins for the US title, I want to talk about before we actually cut to the prior match, which was Becky Lynch with I think it was Io Sky. Yeah, Io Sky that she took on. So before all this, when Damage Control was backstage, they were making their way to the ring for a promo before the match actually happened. That was made official. But you see the Hurt Business actually gathered backstage with Adam Pearce, looking like they were talking with their hands a little, like talking. They had some type of sheen going on. So I really am seeing some type of Hurt Business reunion.
I'm here for it, man. I really
Oh,
am. But let's get right into this awesome main event for the United States
oh,
Championship between
they
Seth
gave them a
Rollins
good
and Austin
25,
Theory.
30 minutes of the show, and nothing felt rushed. It was just, oh
Awesome.
man, it was a perfect main event. These two have just worked together multiple times over and over, and their chemistry, it's just easily the best match of the night. Easily. Entertaining, competitive fight. Theory was actually able to win with a low blow and an A-Town down after the second referee got involved after pushing Seth Rollins into one referee. Just the enthusiasm of the crowd was just phenomenal all night. Even though Theory got the W, retaining the United States Championship, man, when the crowd just got sucked out of the arena when that second ref came down to count to three, they booed Austin Theory, but they were so into it. Austin Theory, what a way for him to retain that United States Championship, huh?
Absolutely. I think that he's really getting booked the right way now.
Mhm.
You know, he did lose that money in the bank, but Triple H realized that he still needs to be
Yeah,
booked strong. And the heat on Austin Theory is as much as it was back in the day, even maybe even more. So,
yep.
WWE really decided to kick off 2023 with a bang. Let us know what you guys thought about the show. Always like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you Saturday with a SmackDown recap. Until then, peace out.
Take care.